Hello everyone, Speedy here. Today we are going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be going over my top 10 favorite LEGO medieval / fantasy era minifigures. Now, first off, I just want to say that the LEGO castle themes, anything to do with the knights or fantasy era or things like that, is actually my all-time favorite LEGO category. Anything castle, like the Lion Knight's castle and the recent medieval blacksmith, were both something that were basically like a dream to me. Those were insanely cool sets. I have them, and that theme is one that I played with a lot growing up and generally holds a special place in my heart, as well as having some of what I think are the coolest looking minifigures to kind of exist in general in the LEGO world. So let's start here. I do want to say for number 11, kind of an honorary mention, is actually the LEGO CMF Joker, or the series Jester here. In general, I think a really cool minifigure. He doesn't really fit any particular faction, but I would say that it is quite a cool minifigure. It's kind of unique to, get these Jesters. We only have a few of them that exist, mainly in like the Kingdoms line and stuff like that, with the white and blue, the red and blue, or the red and white Jesters. All right, moving on to number 10, it is the Series 22 Troubadour, I think is the name, but it's basically a medieval bard here. And this minifigure is one that I really like. I don't feel we get enough peasants or just kind of normal civilian clothing medieval representation, and this fig was excellent for that. He's got the special printed arms, kind of the fluffy plumes that you would expect there, nice printed legs with the boots, a really nice, instrument here, some coins, just generally all around a really, really solid castle minifigure, and one that fits in almost any castle set or theme. Moving on to number 9 is actually the LEGO series, I think 17 or 16, I'm not quite sure, maybe series 13, Heroic Knight. This is kind of a soft remake of the old just Crown Knights from the 2009 fantasy era castle minifigures. He's got special printed legs, a nice printed breastplate there, and a special shield, as well as this unique face, well, unique to the CMF line anyway, with this kind of nice grin going on here. Unfortunately, he does just have a plain gray chest and no arm printing, which is why he's closer to the bottom of this list. Moving on to number 8 is the LEGO Series 22 Orc minifigure. This minifigure is an incredibly awesome and unique LEGO minifigure in the sense it has this special jaw piece, which is the first time it was featured in any LEGO set or collectible, period. It has this unique shield printing, as well as special arm printing that is different on both of the orcs' arms here, with these different kind of shoulder tattoos, special printing for the legs and the torso, kind of give you a better view of that, and special printing on the back, as well as including this awesome torn up red cape. All around a really, really solid minifigure. And also he has special head printing that if you remove the special piece, you still have the teeth. So you can actually display him like this to fit in your castle theme better if it suits you that way. You don't have to use the bulky jaw piece. So all around, very solid minifigure, one that I really enjoy. Moving on up the list, we are now on number, I believe, sorry, I lost count there. I believe this is number 7. And that is the LEGO minifigure series Rogue here. This is another kind of soft remake of an older faction, being the Wolf Pack with the insignia here on his chest, but with the dual molded arms, kind of, these dual molded legs with the pouch and, the special torso printing and all that. Just generally a really cool minifigure. I like the face print. You know, I think he's just pretty solid. He kind of fits in either being a rogue or an updated forestman or wolf pack in most castle settings. Just generally a really cool minifigure and something that appeals to me. Also a little bit of a change of pace in your collection rather than just having, you know, it be all knights, which is nothing wrong with that. I have massive collection of knights, but it kind of adds a little more flavor, if you will, to your collection. Just kind of more on the unique side of things. So I really appreciate him. Moving on, we're going to go to number 6 here, which is the, I believe, Series 16 Frightening Knight, kind of a remake of the old Bear faction, if you will, but generally just a really, really cool, kind of unique minifigure here. First, he's got this kind of more unique shield shape. This is not used in that many castle shields, and certainly not many of the modern ones with this angry bear logo on it, which looks absolutely stunning. He's also got the special arm printing here with the chainmail going up on his arms on these gunmetal gray arms, which is just extremely nice, you know, good attention to detail there. He's got this angry face expression with the teeth sticking out, very unique face, looks incredible. You know, all kinds of good printing, kind of the dual molded legs here with the green and the gunmetal gray printing running down. This unique mace weapon piece that just kind of attaches on the end here. Just all around a really solid minifigure and, you know, an absolute treasure to have in any castle collection. And on top of that, this guy has actually become quite expensive, ranging from $30 to $40 per minifigure. So he's really getting up there in the kind of premium pricing category, if you will. Moving on into the top 5 here, for number 5, we actually have the Black Falcon faction. Kind of a little bit of cheating here, but really just representing the whole faction in general, especially these kind of generic Black Falcon soldiers. I mean, these guys are just some incredibly sleek looking minifigures with just the regular gunmetal plain arms here, the dual molded legs with good printing, this incredibly awesome shield design with the half and half there. Just, you know, some pretty solid heads. Obviously, it doesn't matter too much which one you have. You'll probably get them off a Pick-a-Brick or something like that. Using these modern updated swords, which I am a really big fan of. This is one of my favorite styles of Lego sword ever. And, you know, just generally really solid minifigures. Pretty good printing on the front and back. Just aesthetically pleasing. Great for army building. A faction that I'm a really big fan of. Moving on to number 4 is actually the Series 19 Fright Knight. Not to be confused with the Frightening Knight from the previous series. This guy is one of my favorite minifigures ever, I think. It's just a seriously well done, really cool minifigure. It's also a little bit of a soft remake of the old Fright Knights, you know, from back in Lego's older days, if you will, the kind of vintage, having the bat on the shield here, similar to the kind of the like Bat Lord's cape and all that. But this kind of, you know, rust pattern here looks incredible with the bat on the shield. You got kind of a rusty, hard to make out logo, maybe some type of bat or something printed on the chainmail there on the torso. You've got these very cool ghostly colored plume with this extremely nice ghost head print here. Not sure how well the camera is picking it up. This special kind of clear, just translucent blue sword here. Special printing on the legs here, kind of showing the rusty armor and all the little chinks in it. Just looks incredible. And these guys have an incredibly awesome, unique chainmail print all across their torso. That's excellent for other castle minifigs or to be used in mocks. I felt like these guys were pretty slept on when they came out, not talked about a whole lot, but now they're kind of going up in price, around $25 a minifig. But all in all, a really solid minifigure and, you know, just something really important to my collection. Moving on to number 3 is kind of a cheat here, but it is the Kingdoms from the 2012 era Dragon Knights. I guess the Green Dragon Knights, if you will. I absolutely love this faction. It is probably my number 1 or number 2 favorite faction. It kind of goes back and forth. It's really hard to pick a favorite. In all of Lego history, I just absolutely love their design. They're very sleek, all the gunmetal gray here. You know, lots of nice head prints, really cool shields. They've got good armor. The armor printing on the legs is really cool, kind of showing the bends for the knee armor and all of that there. And then they've got, you know, these various torsos here. This guy's the heavily armored one, which is one of my favorite styles of these guys. But, you know, kind of included with that, you know, there's the regular foot soldiers, which is the really clean green coat of arms, the dragon insignia there. Got the shields, the awesome looking green dragon, just really nice printing. The archers are cool as well. Got the chainmail there, the nice printing, strap coming down, you know, their crossbows, just simplistic green arms, just plain simple, screams Lego, screams, you know, incredibly well done, just very nice faction, good coat of arms, just kind of everything, traps everything I really like about Lego, and also a bit nostalgic for me. So a solid number 3 there. Moving on to number 2 is actually the most expensive minifigure on this list, and that is the Lego Golden Knight from the 2009 Fantasy Era Drawbridge Defense Set. This minifigure goes for anywhere from $65 to $85 if he's in good condition like this one is here. He has some seriously good printing, especially for the time. Really nice shield. Great printing here, showing the difference in the armor, the knee pads, the boots, and everything. Look at that chainmail printing. It's just pretty well done in my opinion. You know, kind of the shiny gold sword here when Lego is still doing kind of the chrome plating on pieces. And then this helmet, part of what makes him so expensive is this unique visor piece right here. I believe this is the only set it ever came in this metallic gold color, as well as one of the only sets to get kind of the gold spaceman / crash helmet here. And that really heavily adds to his price. He's got a pretty cool head, but the head comes in a few other sets, I think. Just generally nicely printed armor here, and then underneath his torso he continues on with this pearl gold. Excellent printing here, nice crown insignia, just generally a really cool minifigure, quite beautiful, just lovely to have one in your collection. Not even, you know, anything to do with his price, just the fact that you can have one and be like, yeah, that's a Golden Knight, man, you know, kind of the whole premise of having, you know, Fantasy Era Golden Knight, you know, the standard, the classic in most castle stories. It's quite nice to have one in the collection, and I'm surprised Lego has not done some kind of remake of that guy next. Next is number 1. This is my all-time favorite design for how a castle minifigure faction looks. It's a close, it just barely beats out the Green Dragons, and that is a very unique faction in the Lego Series 20 Tournament Night. This minifigure is incredibly well done. The dark red, like maroons here, going with these kind of dark gray helmets, the dual molded, you know, legs here with the assorted printing showing his coat of arms, really just his tunic just draping across. The modern use of this sword here, one of the first times it was introduced as well. The incredibly cool like black raven or black crow, whatever you call it. I usually go with the black ravens or yellow ravens, something of that sort for the tournament nights here. On the shield just looks incredible, just good printing all around, a very beautiful looking minifigure, an incredibly well done face print. I mean, one of my favorite CMF face prints, or just Lego Knight face prints in general, just all around a really beautiful, really solid figure. These guys are unfortunately going for around $50. $40 to $50 a piece, so it's really hard to army build them. Sadly, as a result of that, I only had to have a few, but if I could have an army of these to go against my Black Falcons or my Lion Knights or my Green Dragons, that is definitely something I would be interested in, but unfortunately the price makes it where you can't really have that be a possibility. There you have it. Those are my 10 top favorite kind of medieval / fantasy area minifigures. Obviously with an 11th and honorable mention. And kind of another honorable mention I'd like to throw in here before I end the video would actually be these guys, the large trolls from the 2009 Castle Fantasy era. These guys are really, really cool big figs, kind of unique in their size. You know, some of the first big figs Lego ever made as well. Got special printing on some of their arms and, you know, heads and shoulders and all that. Just generally really cool, excellent villains for any of your, you know, kind of castle era minifigures. Maybe you can pair them with these guys to make more of a modern orc faction. Just all around really cool minifigures. As a whole, I think the Lego Castle series, like in general, from all of its different reboots, has a lot of cool factions and a lot of cool minifigures. They're some of my favorites, and it's really hard to pick favorites overall. So, you know, if I didn't mention your faction on here or show a particular minifigure from the castle line that you really like, I probably really like it too. I just didn't feature it in this video because I was trying to limit it only to 10, yet I still ended up with 12. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the little bit of a long video here. Hopefully I will see you in future videos. Have a great rest of your week.